From the Kennedy Ice Pavilion on the campus of Syracuse University, it's the matchup we've all been waiting for, the first divisional home game of 2019 between the Syracuse Orange and the NYU Violets. I'm Cory Berberian, and these two teams have played each other very closely through two games. NYU fell both times at home. Syracuse a 6-0 and 3-2 results. They started 2019 on a bad note, losing to Niagara 5-3 out in Western New York, but have followed it up with 7-3 wins against Oswego and a shutout down in Delaware with Cal Stewart. So what did the Orange do badly against Niagara? How have they been able to rectify that through two games?
Well, Cory, the story of the Niagara game was this Syracuse team, which is generally physical, dominating opponents, were allowed to be bullied against Niagara. That was a big reason that they came up short in that one. The last couple of games, they've been driving the physical play in the game, and they've had some success because of it.
And that physical play certainly took a good turn against NYU. Those are the most physical games we've seen all year. How do you see it shaping up tonight?
Well, if I had to bet, I would be guessing that a big part of NYU's game plan tonight will be the physical play, trying to get under the skin of the Syracuse Orange, because on paper, they're definitely outclassed in terms of talent.
And these two teams play each other very close, despite, on paper, not really being so close.
Yeah, that's right. It's always a fun time when these two teams get together. It's one of those games you can never really predict the outcome, whether it's going to end in disqualification or overtime or anything like that.
Or Matt Jacobs' game winner.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be a fun one for sure from Kennedy.
We'll see how it goes. First of two this weekend between Syracuse and NYU. Back after this on the SU Hockey Network. Back at the Kennedy Ice Pavilion in Syracuse, New York. Bit of an abrupt start to today's game. Syracuse and NYU, the first shot from one. Patrick Corcoran is stopped on the play by Patrick Kavanaugh. The NYU Violets at 5-9 on the year. They've lost their last two games. Those two back in Chelsea against the Syracuse Orange, who are 12-6-1, and they have won two straight. Their first divisional game in the ESCHL in the second semester and in the calendar year 2019. Stephen Brezzi fan on a puck in the neutral zone. Tried to be advanced by Dylan Key, followed up by Parker Richards, but given away to Brezzi in his own line. Brezzi along with Corcoran on the defensive side. Stephen Brezzi, who had a goal and assist against the Delaware Blue Hens in a 6-0 win last Friday down in Newark, Delaware. The second game between those two was canceled because of the oncoming snowstorm, and the Orange took care of business in the first and only game, 6-0.
Yeah, that win was huge for the Orange, getting the start to 2019 in league play off to a good start. A huge 2 points for the Orange in that one.
Mason Gallegos backs up in his own zone. Off a leg, and John Kovalevsky carries up. One of the leading scorers for NYU. Only 3 goals, but 7 assists, most on the team. Richard Doherty backs up as the Orange clear it in. Lucas Prestamo chasing. John Kovalevsky gets to the puck. Taken away in front. Prestamo tried to drag, and he gave the puck away to no one in particular, and Gallegos clears it off the boards and out. Ford Hatchett back. Sends one off the blue line and in. Richard Doherty back to get it. Sophomore from Warren, Michigan. Up 2 lines. Kovalevsky again, product of Philadelphia. Curls back inside the blue line. Gave it on to Gallegos in the corner. Gallegos threw one from a tough angle, and it got to Kuzo's leg. A shot was blocked down by Gallegos. Came back to the line for Williamson, who played it across to Brian Tacone. Sophomore from Stamford, Connecticut. Threw one in front, and Gallegos looking for a rebound in front of Jake Kaler. Not Kuzo, excuse me. Kaler, who has not won a game in his career against NYU, his second start. He's 0-1 against the Violets. Jack Orn up through the middle, taken away by Chris Brunner-Grande, the sophomore from New Jersey, one of the newcomers for this Orange team. Didn't start in all of 2018, but came back to a couple of games, and he scored 2 points in the new year.
Had a beautiful deflection goal against Delaware this weekend, Cory. In his first start of the season, it's a good way to get a hot start for Chris Brunner-Grande.
Icing is called. 17:55 to play in the first period. Our camera is inoperative for the first period. We'll get that going at the end of the intermission. No score so far. Shots 1-0 for the Orange, who, as I said, have won the only 2 games so far of this season series. Games 3 and 4 to be played here in Syracuse, New York, after the Orange swept 2 down at Chelsea Piers. Adam Bedford steps up into the corner, along there with Tyler Ains, and is taken away by Cole Donovan. Junior from California, one of quite a few Californians on this Violet side. Adam Bedford from Los Angeles for the Orange. Stepping up, Alex Peck can't get it out. Adam Bedford moves it on, shot one low, stopped by Kavanaugh. Matching 31s in gold today. Patrick Kavanaugh in black, and 31 in orange, Jake Kaler. Moved along for Richards. Richards carries up over center. A shot got through to the blocker's side on Kaler. Played it to the corner. Luke Cato can't get it out. Kept in by Adam Peck, number 16. Peck moves it along. Tried to get through 2 Orange players. Colin Morrow denied that. And it bounces to center and is carried on by the speedy Hayward. Hayward, who has been so productive in his career against the Violets, threw one in front, and an opportunity in front for Harrington. Could not find it. Hatchett was pushed down on the play by Adam Peck. And we get a whistle here, and a tripping call is made. An early penalty for the Orange, who certainly could have used some power play opportunities against Niagara. They got so many and failed, and that's one of the reasons why they lost out in Western New York.
Yeah, it's not often that you see defenseman Ford Hatchett end up on the ground like that, and when you do see it, you know that something wrong has gone on. You see NYU called on a penalty early here.
And it's Blake Howard who goes to the box. Howard, who took 3 minor penalties, a total of 6 penalty minutes in the first game in the season series against the Orange, is booked on a tripping minor here. 2-minute power play for the Orange. One of the best units in the ESCHL, second best at 26.5%. Hatchett steps up all the way to the circle, and he peels it back inside the line. Has Hayward with him. Jacobs takes it. Jacobs to the middle. Harrington dropped it back for Hatchett. Hatchett thought about it. Hatchett now fires, tipped on the play by McNamara, and Kavanaugh got it in between his legs. Closed the 5-hole in time. Orange keep it in with Jacobs at the blue line. Along for Hatchett. Fanned on a pass to the near side wing for Harrington. Violets clear with John Kovalevsky, and they get the first clearance and line change. 30 seconds gone on the minor penalty.
Yeah, we say this every game, but the Syracuse Orange power play versus their opponent's penalty kill is a huge matchup in this game, as it is with most league games. The Orange power play has been a juggernaut so far. NYU has struggled on the kill.
McNamara fanned on one in the middle, cleared down to the ice by a slap shot. Alex Peck doing that. Sophomore from Williston, Vermont. Brother Adam Peck wears number 16. Half of Alex's number. Picked off at center by Preston. Connor Preston tried to carry it in. Able to go in after it himself. Dylan Key pushed him away. Tyler Ains takes it over. Preston back again. Got it on for Corcoran at the line. As Brezzi on the right side. Shot goes high from Corcoran. Taken by James Long, the freshman from St. Louis. Cleared it to center ice, and Brezzi can't advance. Taken on by Donovan one-on-one. Donovan, a shot stop made by Kaler. Snapped it up with a glove beautifully to stop that shorthanded chance with 36 left on the minor penalty.
Boy, did Kaler make that save look easy, Cory. Just snatched that puck right out of the air with his glove. That whole play started when Stephen Brezzi got caught flat-footed in the neutral zone, and two of the NYU forwards just sped right past him. You know Connor Tracy's going to be in his ear about that one.
15:30 left in the first period. Shots 4-2 for the Orange. They've got 36 seconds left of power play time. The first opportunity for either side. They've scored 36 power play goals this season. And they've had more power play attempts than any other team in the ESCHL. 137 with this opportunity. Parker Richards lost the draw to Matt Jacobs, who peels it back and gave it on to Hatchett. 30 left on the power play. It'll be Jacobs to start the rush. Dropped it off for Hayward. Far side, the defenseman Hatchett. Back to the near for Jacobs. Carried on by Harrington instead. Harrington sent one middle. Hayward on his backhand tried to flip one along to the middle. He spun one right to Parker Richards, who clears it 2/3 of the way. 13 left on the power play. NYU a quick change and one last rush for Syracuse. 5 minutes gone, opening period, no score. 5 on the penalty as Hayward carries over the line. Hayward himself. Hayward, a shot stop made low by Kavanaugh and played to the corner. Up there is Jack Orn. Orn got it on to Alex Peck off a scrum, and he sent one into the bench. No penalty, just a face-off. Past the 5-minute mark of the first period with Cal Stewart, Cory Berberian. Happy to be with you for the first divisional game of 2019. NYU Violets and the Syracuse Orange knotted up early.
If you're NYU coach Chris Constantino, you're very happy with that penalty kill. Not that many good scoring chances for the Syracuse Orange, and the Violets themselves had a good scoring chance on the power play, or the penalty kill, sorry.
Violets 1 for 1 on the penalty kill, which is the worst in all of the ESCHL at less than 70%, 69.5. Certainly was a unit that could not capitalize on its shorthanded opportunities. The Orange scored plenty of power play goals and shorthanded goals against the Violets back in New York, as a cover-up is made by Jake Kaler. 8-3 on the year is Kaler with a goals against average of 3.03. A save percentage a tick under 90 at 89.9%. Has never won against the Violets. He's 0 for 1 in his career against NYU. 30 out of 36 shots he stopped in a game. Actually was 1 year ago today, January 26, 2018. The third of the 4 games in the season series a year ago. Kaler out to play it, left it for Corcoran. Corcoran had to go back and get it. Alex Peck steps up in the corner here. Peck tried to swap one along, and it's taken on behind. A pass came out in front, picked away by Kalinowski, but given up to the blue line for a shot by Key that was blocked by Brezzi. Brezzi finally seeing where the puck went. He swipes it to center and advanced on by Pucciarelli. James Long back there as Pucciarelli goes for a change. The Orange able to combine a couple of effort plays to clear the zone. Cato and Hatchett back on defense. This is Ford here. Has scored in his last 2 games after being an assist master through the first part of the season. The shot is out of play off the stick of Tyler Ains. Good to see him back in the lineup. He was injured back in early December.
Yeah, if you're NYU, you're pretty happy with the start to this game. They've been very aggressive on the forecheck in the Syracuse zone, and the Syracuse breakout hasn't really come up with a response just yet. We saw a handful of turnovers in the defensive zone for the Orange, something they'll definitely have to clean up because they can't afford to be giving up scoring chances like that.
Tyler Ains against Parker Richards on the draw as Joey Pucciarelli, check that, Adam Bedford comes on late for the Orange, the 5th man. Just past the 6-minute mark of the first period elapsed. There is no score. Shots are 5-2 for the Orange. NYU off this draw. cleared along by Andrew Williamson, the penalty minutes leader for the NYU Violets. Man who was ejected for slashing back in Chelsea in the first game between these two on December 7th.
I think he took 3 penalties in that game, Corey, if I'm not mistaken.
He had 17 penalty minutes, and 15 of them were on that major penalty plus 10-minute game misconduct. Taken away by Adam Peck, freshman from Vermont. Moved up to the middle. And NYU just retreats with Blake Howard, the Californian. Adam Peck sent one, but off of a body part, and it could not be played in. John Kovalevsky carries it on the far side now. Hatchet could not check him into the boards. Puck tried to be played in center by Gallegos. A chance in front for Frank Horowitz getting the start today. Playing his first game of the year, number 29, added by the Violets prior to the start of this semester. Brian Tacone back in his own zone. Give it on for Horowitz, and Gallegos off the touch pass. Has Kovalevsky in the middle, shot by Gallegos, went wide to the short side. Stepping up Brandon Ritchie. Ritchie against a couple of Orange, got the puck away, drags to the middle, sent one in front off Corcoran's leg. Gallegos shoves Hayward. Shot by Williamson goes wide to the short side again of Kaler. Shot followed up by Tacone, missed the net. Loose in front again, back for Williamson inside the line. A shot here blocked away by Hayward. 2 blocks for Peter Owen. Another one in front. That one got to Kaler. Another shot off the post. Rebound in front. And a whistle is blown early as Alex Peck had one that went through the crease. I'm not sure how that puck didn't find the back of the net. And off my voice crack, we remain scoreless.
What an unbelievable stroke of luck for Syracuse there. The puck beat Kaler 5-hole, hit the post, and came right back out into his pad safely. Very lucky play for Syracuse on that one.
And a lucky whistle blow by the officials, too. That puck was still loose, I believe, unless the net came off its moorings, and these are very weak magnets they use. Pass was blocked into the corner, taken on by Alex Peck, reverse to the far side where it's Padalino. Trip Francisi joining in the fray. Puck came up to the far side boards for Key to play it off Padalino. Key took it back, again off Padalino. Preston outlets, and it's brought on by McNamara. The captain moves it on. McNamara with Padalino in front, gave it away, and Francisi getting back as it's brought on by Jack Orn. Senior from Camden, Maine, moves it in offside as Rosen was back-checking, and the face-off will come back. This is an NYU team that is 5-9 on the year. Only 1 divisional win for the Violets. They're 1-9 in ESCHL play, 4-0 against non-conference teams. The only win coming at Rhode Island back on October 13th. Certainly has been a rough go for the Violets. They've lost 8 in a row in the conference, including the last 2 games against Syracuse on their home ice. Brought on by Adam Peck. Wheels to the outside. Set one in front. Could not find Frank Horowitz. Back to the line for a shot. Loose puck in front again as Doherty took the shot. A scramble results in a puck to the corner where Chris Brunner Grande clears it all the way down and becomes an icing. Certainly been NYU turning the tide here in the last few minutes, but nothing to show for it on the scoring sheet.
And it's really been a series of defensive zone turnovers by the Orange that have allowed the Violets to establish this type of zone pressure. You saw that pass by Ford Hatchet getting intercepted by NYU in the neutral zone, led to another 35 seconds of sustained pressure for NYU.
11 minutes to go. First period, no score in the game. Shots are 6-6. NYU has 4 of the last 5 shots as Preston puts a hit on against Fei Hu Yan. Puck in front again. Kovalevsky on his backhand. Couldn't get it by Kaler, who's been tested early. 7 saves through 9+ minutes for Jake Kaler. Again, it's Kovalevsky. Had it poke checked away by Cato, clearing the crease. Back for a shot by Ritchie. Loose in front again. Kovalevsky can't bury it. Kaler way out of his crease to stop it. Hatchet puts a man down. Gallegos in front of his netminder, and a scuffle ensues and is quickly broken up by the referees.
That might have been hard to see on the camera, Corey, but that was one of the most unbelievable saves I've seen Jake Kaler make this year. That was a double deflection from the point, knocked off of 2 NYU players. Kaler still managed to find it in his glove. Incredible save. He's made 8 saves tonight, and they've all been high-quality scoring chances.
A shot here stopped by Kaler to the glove side. Played around by Brezzi, protects the puck and lets Hayward take it. This is Jake Kaler, who had a 29-save shutout at Delaware in his last start. The last game the Orange played in the 6-0 win, his first shutout of the season. So he has a lot of goal and more than a game plus. 9 saves early so far for Jake Kaler. NYU gets it in again. Brezzi steps up here, left the puck. Played on by Orn Down low for Alex Peck. Peck back for Orn, but it's taken back by Corcoran to play it on for a touch pass to Jacobs, who moves in 1-on-3. Jacobs far side, joined by Harrington, crashes the net. Jacobs' a shot was neatly sticked away by Patrick Cavanaugh, his first save in quite some time. Up the boards, and it's played out by Adam Peck. Along for Parker Richards, got by David Rosen, sent the puck in, and Adam Bedford chases. Lower line's getting action here for the Orange. Loose in front for a pass across and a shot that was fanned on by Richards. Rosen played it defensively and played it well. Bedford outlets. And that's going to be a slashing call as an NYU stick of Adam Peck was slashed away from him. You see it there near the block S on the right side, and a penalty to be called against Syracuse. David Rosen takes the trot to the penalty box, and NYU to their first power play.
This is a very different looking NYU team from the one we saw down at Chelsea last time these two teams got together. This team is aggressive on the forecheck in the defensive zone. They've been really forcing the Syracuse Orange to make a lot of mistakes so far this game.
First power play for the Violets, wearing their black jerseys tonight on the road. Here's a shot by Jack Orn that was blocked by Pucciarelli. Orn got it back, spun it on, it's back for a shot that was popped away in front, played by a high stick. And the Orange clear the zone, so the refs negate that ruling. Jack Orn back to get it. This NYU power play worst in the ESCHL out of the 6 teams at 13%. They've scored just 9 power play goals this season and allowed 4 shorties. NYU actually has had the fewest power play opportunities in the league at 69. This their 70th. Orange have nearly double that, 137, as Cavanaugh is back to play it. 1:15 left on this first man-up chance for the NYU Violets. Outlet it on for Brandon Ritchie. Gave it away for Harrington to circle back and play it to the safety of Corcoran. Trying to go all the way with it, knocked down by Ritchie, but was played by a high stick, and a whistle results from that.
Well, both power plays to start this game have been pretty underwhelming thus far. Not a lot of zone time established by either squad on their first chance on the man advantage.
8:26. I was looking at the time. It's 6:52 p.m. 8:26 left in the first period. Sprezzi back. Flop one near Preston. And NYU's Alex Peck there to get it. 5 points on the year, including a goal. Alex Peck, number 32 in black. Collision down low. Adam Peck went down as Preston spun him down near center ice. Parker Richards behind, the 6'2 sophomore. Richards hounded by Pucciarelli. Pucciarelli got the puck away to Morrow to send in. Frank Horowitz backs it up. Tries the near side. James Long can't advance. And Long just peels it behind Cavanaugh with 30 left on the power play. Handed on for Frank Horowitz, the freshman from Beverly Hills, California. Moved on by Long. St. Louis native. Sent one off of Kaler as it took a deflection off the boards. Peck sent it across. Peck got it back again from Long. Took the shot that flutters high with 10 on the power play. Back to the line again for Long. NYU with no chances on goal on this power play. Morrow can move it on. 2-on-2, a delayed call. Back for a Francisi. His shot went low. The touch comes in front with Peck corralling the rebound. So after NYU is unsuccessful on their first power play, they're going to be shorthanded for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, what a great play by Colin Morrow there. Breaking the puck out of the zone on the penalty kill, drawing a penalty and creating a pretty good scoring chance out of it for Trip Francisi. Connor Tracy's got to be happy with Morrow on that play.
7:19 to play, opening period. NYU with a 9-8 shot lead. 0 for 1 on the power play. Jack Orn is called for this minor penalty. Just his 3rd minor of the season in 13 games. It'll be Harrington to take the draw, the other 24. Opposed by Mason Gallegos. Gallegos won the draw. Howard sent one to an open near side, taken on by Kovalevsky, who backhands it out. Orange had a couple of chances on their power play, but also gave up a juicy shorthanded opportunity for NYU. This is a team that scored 5 of their 6 goals in the first game against NYU down in Chelsea on special teams. See if we can expect more of that. Jacobs on back. Jacobs a shot, hit off a leg of Blake Howard in front. Taken on by the Orange, given back to Jacobs. Hatchet on the far side. Along for Hayward, high slot. Directed back for Jacobs straight away. Quarterbacks the offense on the power play. Hatchet a shot, went wide. Hustling to it, Jacobs. He steps up in front of the boards on the near side. Jacobs to the middle. Hatchet in the slot. Hatchet took one, went off a leg of John Kovalevsky, but kept alive by Orange once again. 1:10 left on the power play. Jacobs another shot. This one gets through as McNamara couldn't tip it, and Kavanaugh seals it up.
Really good penalty killing by the NYU forwards on that play. 50 seconds into the power play, I counted 3 blocked shots. Ask any coach, that's one of the biggest keys to a successful penalty kill is clogging up shooting lanes, and the Violets did a great job on that one.
Puck is played near us and nearly hit you.
Almost
Everyone's
caught it.
okay.
I was going for the grab, but
Yeah.
the wire for my mic held me back.
The young fan from Connecticut could not come up with that puck. Neither could the young man from New Jersey. Parker Richards off the draw, lost it against Francisi. Orange win the draw in neutral zone and get it with a minute left on the power play. Puck free near the dot. Francisi can't get it on. Moved ahead by Richards to the corner. Cato behind his goal as NYU backs off defensively. 45 left on the penalty kill. Orange 0 for 1 on the power play so far. Pass across for a feed back in front. On the doorstep was Connor Preston as Brezzi sent it to the near side. Back again for Preston from Prestamo. Couldn't find his stick. Cato has it back at the line. Cato flung it across to the far side. Brezzi again. Luke Cato shot one low. Save made and a whistle is blown. And the face-off to come outside the zone. The net was perhaps knocked off. I'm not sure.
I think the refs got Connor Preston of Syracuse for being in the crease on that play. You don't really see that you don't see that called very often, Cory. But Connor Preston must have been doing enough to interfere with the NYU netminder that they had to blow it dead.
Perhaps a Sean Avery rule coming into effect here. Do we have that in the ACHA?
I would be surprised.
Dylan Key in his own zone. NYU can't get it out. Orange keep it in with McNamara, giving on to Jacobs in the last 12 of the power play. Jacobs takes a look, corrals it, gave it on for a Hayward one-timer. That didn't get all of it. Harrington follows up. He had a wide open net and missed it. Hayward again, pass tipped by an NYU player. Back to the line for Jacobs, a shot that McNamara nearly got a stick on. Penalty time is up. Orange with a late flurry, but they're still unsuccessful. Harrington a direction on for McNamara. Wall against the boards. McNamara gets position on Key, but Cole Donovan joins in the fray. Hayward also there. 2 against 2. Ains can't get it in front. Taken on by James Long. Last 5 minutes to play. Opening period, no score. Orange a 10-9 shot lead. They've had 2 unsuccessful power plays. Padalino back in his own zone. Jake Padalino, native of Skinny Atlas, on for Tyler Ains, who avoided a check at the block S. Padalino's got it once more. Another tall defenseman for the Orange at 6'3". You've got Hatchet at 6'4", Cato at 6'3", and Padalino just as tall. Outletted on and all the way down for Williamson to play. No icing here. Tried to milk it, but could not. Moved on and flung back in by the Violets. Padalino back to get it. Jake Padalino in his own zone once more. Extended shift for number 44 in white. Taken away in front for a shot by Gallegos as Bedford could not get it out. He played it right to the middle, and Gallegos was waiting, but missed the target. Icing here. Nearly a giveaway that results in a tying goal for one of the best on the NYU side.
Yeah, I think that's the 4th time by my count this period that a Syracuse defenseman has lofted a breakout pass right into a stick of an NYU forward. Big scoring chance there. Missed the net, fortunately, for the Orange. But these defensemen have to clean that up.
4:03 left in the first period. We'll have our shot clock, rather our time clock, up for the start of the second period. It was a bit of a rush getting on the air today with the women's game going long and not leaving us much time. The SU women tied Penn State 1-1 earlier today here at Tennedy, about an hour before we get started here. A puck is out of play off of the stick of Brian Tacone. Final 3:51 of the opening period with Cal Stewart, Cory Berberian, NYU Violets at 5-9, Syracuse at 12-6-1. Orange ranked 16th in the ACHA Division I. They went down a couple of points after losing to Niagara, but have won 2 games since, and Stony Brook actually leapfrogged them. Syracuse was 14th, and Stony Brook was 16th a couple of weeks ago. Now it's Stony Brook, the Seawolves at 14, and SU at 16. Those two teams will play in about a month's time as it's played back in by Pucciarelli. Bryant Tacone wiped out. Another NYU player went down, Williamson, as it's outletted on for the carry by Kovalevsky to the far side. Kovalevsky sent it by Hatchet. Takes it to the corner where it's Cato there, being bumped by the taller Kovalevsky. Played to the middle. Here's a shot in front by Richards. Missed the net again. Richards follows up and fired it high. NYU's missing the net here the last few chances. Played in behind for Kovalevsky to wheel along. Chris Brunner Grande, another shift for number 16 in orange, steps up. As it's Richards there again. Played it back to the line for Long. The freshman shot one that caromed off the glass to the short side. Taken on by Richards again. Back to the line for a shot by Key, looking for a tip in front. Played loose to the middle. No one there but white jerseys, and it's lofted down the ice by Hatchet, and SU can change on the fly. 2:45 left opening period. Brought on by Adam Peck. Slow shot in front. Nearly tipped again. Jacob steps up. Sends one out to the center ice. To the middle for Harrington. Adam Peck got it on. Frank Horowitz there. Puck is played offside, and Horowitz has to retreat. A free puck for Patrick Corcoran. Number 7 in orange skates it up. Got it on for Owen Harrington to play in. Harrington takes it all the way in as Key bumps him. Taken on by Long on the near side. And as Frank Horowitz to start it out. Brought on by Adam Peck to the far side. Got by Corcoran. Corcoran follows up and walls him off. Peck gave it on. Cole Donovan sent one all the way out. Couldn't find anyone. And Blake Howard retreats as both teams get changes in the final 2 minutes of the opening period. Glad you've joined us here from Tennessee. No score between Syracuse and NYU.
You know, it's interesting, Cory. This Syracuse team is one of the fastest teams in the ACHA. But tonight, it kind of feels like NYU has been controlling the pace of this game in this first period. Something that we rarely see from Syracuse, being outmatched in terms of speed. And this certainly wasn't the case in the first time these two teams played. So we'll see how that changes if the Syracuse team can get their legs back.
Yeah, granted, in that first game between Syracuse and NYU, it took the Orange about 29 minutes to find the back of the net. They ended up winning that game 6-0. So who knows? McNamara got it on. Prestamo as a violet. Blake Howard went down. Press to the boards is Ains as it's taken on by Prestamo to play it up. Jack Orn got it on. Alex Peck to the middle. Through the block S, and he got it on to Brandon Ritchie near side. Brezzi walls him down and gets the puck with 1:05 to go in the opening period. Given away to Richard Doherty. Can't get one in front. Now tries to find Kovalevsky. Drags side of the net. Tried to wrap around. He was tripped up on the play, and Cato will find himself a minor penalty.
This first line for NYU is causing some serious problems for the Syracuse defense. They've drawn 2 penalties already. They've gotten tons of scoring chances. They look good tonight, Cory.
NYU and Syracuse have played each other tight through 19 minutes and change. 56 seconds left. The call actually on Trip Francisi, not Cato, my mistake. NYU 0 for 1 on the power play. That's their second opportunity. Orange didn't allow a single power play shot that got through for NYU. A lot of blocked shots for the Orange on their first PK as it's played back down. And Jack Orn to take with Pucciarelli right on his 6. Jack Orn as Pucciarelli wiped out, spun around but got the puck off his skate and forces Orn back for a moment. Brandon Ritchie resettles as it's Blake Howard up through center ice, trying to find a lane. Dropped it off for Mason Gallegos, the senior captain for NYU. Gallegos holds here. Colorado native got it on for the Californian Blake Howard to spin. Kovalevsky out for Gallegos. Set one in front off the pad. Rebound cleared away by Hatchet quickly. The Orange make quick work of that offensive chance as we're down to the last 10 of the period. One last rush as Orange checks the clock. 150-foot pass went off the stick of Frank Horowitz. No icing here. Richards with 2 to go. Walled by Cato. Cato got the puck for a moment, and that's enough to end the period. And through 20 minutes, we've had about as close of 20 minutes as we could have between Syracuse and NYU. No score through 20. NYU set to have 1:04 of power play time. After this intermission, shots are 10-10 aside, and Cal, really, neither team has had the advantage here outright.
No, it's been very back and forth in this period. We saw Syracuse dominate the first stretch of the game, followed by NYU taking control of the next 10 minutes or so. And then Syracuse gaining back the momentum again. And then finally in the last 2 minutes, NYU with that power play opportunity. So Lots of back and forth between two teams that aren't necessarily evenly matched on paper, but you would never know that from watching these 20 minutes.
No score in the game, just as we were back in Chelsea. We'll have a break for 15 minutes and come back for the start of the second period on the SU Hockey Network. 20 minutes down, 40 to go. Through the first period, no score between Syracuse and NYU. The shots 10-10 apiece. I said it was as even of a game as you could possibly have thought. And Cal, 10 shots apiece, no goals apiece, 2 power play chances apiece. Really even game on both sides.
Yeah, not something we would have predicted coming into this game, but the first period did not disappoint. In terms of parity, these first 5 minutes of this second period here are extremely important, maybe the most important stretch of the game. How these two teams come out in the second frame could really dictate how this game comes out.
Well, we got our clock camera working for the second period, so perhaps a good omen for the home guys. 1:04 left on the power play against Trip Francisi, who is not in the penalty box right now. The box remains vacant as Pucciarelli takes the draw and wins it. Corcoran chips it to the blue line. Harrington tried to play it down, taken on by James Long through the middle. Richards to the near side. Adam Peck sends it in, and Richards chases after it. Corcoran fan on a slap shot. Corcoran reversed one for Pucciarelli in the last 45 of the power play. Orange cleared with Brezzi sending it through James Long's legs, and all the way down for Patrick Kavanaugh to leave for Alex Peck. 35 on the power play for the Orange, rather for the Violets. The minor penalty against Francisi for the trip in the latter stages of period 1. Kaler would touch on this puck. Adam Peck involved for the Violets. Alex Peck can't keep the puck. Pucciarelli onto it. Pucciarelli to the middle. Pucciarelli, a shot would not go, and he went sliding into the boards. In the final 10, one last rush for the Violets on this power play. Brought on by Adam Peck again. Extended shift for this power play unit. They've been on the ice for the first minute 4 as the power play comes to an end. Orange 0 for 2. NYU 0 for 2. Chance in front. Loose puck. They score! Frank Horowitz.
Yeah, that's just a total defensive breakdown in front of the net for the Syracuse Orange. No one could really find the rebound after it bounced off of Jake Kaler's shoulder. No one was covering the NYU forward who took the second rebound opportunity, and they finally buried it on Jake Kaler. But anytime you allow 3 shots in a prime scoring area like that, it usually ends up in the back of your own net.
So Frank Horowitz in the lineup for the first time this season, added for the second semester, and he scores a goal, the first one, his first, and the first of the game. The goal comes just after the 1-minute mark of the second. It was not a power play goal. The power play just expired. But nonetheless, 1-0 Violets. And that's the first lead they've had against Syracuse in the 3 games of the season series. Backhanded in by Jake Drucker. Reversed by David Rosen to Jake Padalino, who flops one all the way down. Harrington gives chase, as does Doherty. Doherty got there first, but played it off of Jacobs' back. Sam Rappaport up to it. Lost it, but Howard retreats. Direct pass for Jake Drucker, freshman from Bethpage, New York, as it's played to the far side for Trip Francisi to hold. Part of that 5'9 club, the sub 5'9 club, is Trip Francisi.
Along with both of your broadcasters for today's game.
Yep. Me at 5'4", and you a couple inches taller, as this one becomes a souvenir.
Well, for Syracuse, the first line has really been a driver of a lot of their offensive opportunities throughout the season. But today they've seemed a little bit out of sorts, not sure exactly what's going on, but a usually dynamic unit that causes a lot of trouble for opposing teams hasn't been as dangerous as normal in the first 23-odd minutes of this one.
Prestamo sends it all the way down. Does it become an icing? No. Brian Tacone onto it. Played up to the far side, where it's Prestamo stepping up. Has a man in front, Francisi. He went down to his knees as he tried to get the shot away and could not. But Corcoran keeps. Corcoran on goal. Tipped on the way. Rebound loose in front. Francisi a couple of chances. Another shot swiveled in front by McNamara, and it's Tripp again to the corner. Out for Corcoran to keep inside the line. Shot went wide, and Andrew Williamson clears for the Violets. Corcoran recoils and fires it in from 100 feet. No icing on the play. Brian Tacone back for NYU. Native of Connecticut, the sophomore D-man, got it all the way in, where it's Bedford there to take. But Corcoran reversed it in front of Bedford and got it to Adam Bedford here. Out of Trine University, played his first year out in Indiana, but came here to the Orange this season and has done well on the lower lines. Luke Cato back as Ford Hatchet takes. Joey Pucciarelli directs this one in. Onto it, Peter Owen Hayward. Sent one in front. It got through, but off the side of Kavanaugh. Played up for Kovalevsky. A shot went wide to the short side of Kaler. Kaler has been tested early and often. A shot, loose puck in front as it was tipped. Dylan Key took the shot, and the wide open far side could not be found. Dylan Key back again. Full changes for the Orange.
Tell you what, Corey, the Orange are very lucky that Frank Horowitz was not looking up on that play. He, if he had wanted to, could have just tapped that puck in on the backside of Kaler, but luckily for the Orange, he wasn't looking at the play.
Key off a turnover. Glove down by Hayward, who starts up 2-on-2 with Jacobs. Hayward goes to the middle. Jacobs got it to him. He scores! How about that?
Oh, man. Add that to another unbelievably athletic goal scored by Peter Owen Hayward from his knees. Manages to control the puck off his stick and fire it over the pad of the NYU netminder. And he continues his scoring streak, Corey.
I think that's the only way Jacobs could have gotten that pass through and the only way Hayward could have scored it, but he did, going down. A perfect assist for Jacobs, his 12th helper of the season. And for Peter Owen Hayward, you mentioned the point streak, 16 straight with a point, 29 points over that span. Preston trying to follow up with one of his own, sent one off the side of the net. For Hayward, that's his 19th goal of the season, a team best in that department, a team best 34 points for Peter Owen. He really does it all. Brezzi behind for the Orange, chips it to the neutral zone. For Hayward, that's his 5th goal in seven games in his career against NYU. He has the most points of any player with 13 in his career against the Violets, nearly 2 per game. Preston a bump on Richard Doherty at center ice. As we're even at 1, nearing the 5-minute elapsed mark of the second period with Cal Stewart, Cory Berberian. A strong start to the second for both offenses as Cato sends a puck off the ceiling. The ceiling was rather low at NYU, and over here it's a pretty high ceiling, so surprising that Cato hit it. Tyler Raines to take the draw for the Orange. Stepping in, Sam Rappaport, but Tyler Raines wins it to Hatchett. Hatchett got it on. Morrow there. Morrow chasing after it, but becomes an icing as no one touched it on the way, and Williamson earns the whistle. But Peter Owen really does everything. You think you've seen it all from number 17, and he comes up with perhaps the best goal we've seen from him this season.
Yeah, he practically willed that puck into the back of the net. I don't think I could see anyone else on this team, or on the ice for that matter, making that kind of play. A really extraordinary effort from Peter Owen Hayward, one that we've really become accustomed to seeing.
And the Hayward-Jacobs connection certainly strong. Jacobs, who is on a 6-game point streak of his own, had the game-winning goal against NYU in the second game of 2 down in Chelsea. Earns a masterful assist here. 14 shots aside through about 25 minutes of play from Kennedy.
Yeah, you mentioned the connection between Jacobs and Hayward. We've seen it all season. Maybe it's because of the time they spent together in high school at Northfield Mount Herman. But in either way, they've been really good teaming up for the Orange this season.
Yeah, one of the prep schools in New England, Northfield Mount Herman. Plenty of SU players coming there. Pants in front. Oh, and a save made off Horowitz. Frank Horowitz wanted his second. Kaler said no, emphatically.
What an unbelievable save, Corey. Jake Kaler, one of the best goalies I've seen in this league. When he's down on the ice like that, and quick plays in tight, trying to move laterally, he's so acrobatic. And we've seen him make save after save like that these past couple of weeks.
Brought on by Horowitz again, trying to get a second here. He gets one in this time. He scores over Kaler's shoulder, and it's 2-1 Violets.
Horowitz making his presence felt early in his first semester at NYU. He's causing problems in this game. Just kind of got lucky on that play. Jake Kaler went out for the poke check. Puck ended up ramping up and over his stick, hit the crossbar and in. A stroke of bad luck for Kaler in the Orange, but it all started off of a good play by Horowitz, causing trouble.
So Frank Horowitz, he wasn't even in our lineup. He gets the start today. The 6'2 freshman from California earns his second goal in as many periods.
And that's a huge play for NYU. We kind of sensed after the Peter Owen Hayward goal that the tide may be turning in favor of the Orange. That was just silenced by the play of Frank Horowitz. So that's huge for the Violets.
So NYU, after not holding a single lead for any amount of time against the Orange back in Chelsea, have had 2 separate 1-goal leads today. No icing here, as it's Dylan Key to touch up in his defensive zone. Stephen Brezzi sent one to the corner. Around for Matt Jacobs, behind Patrick Cavanaugh. 1 goal allowed, and he's faced 14 shots, stopped 13. Jake Kaler has stopped 14 as well. Owen Harrington lost it to Dylan Key. Brezzi steps up all the way to the goal line to play it, as Hayward comes to the high slot. Stephen Brezzi got it back. Has Hayward back at the line, sent it in for Jacobs to play it back for Stephen Brezzi. Puck in front, hit off a stick of NYU's James Long, and the freshman from St. Louis clears it out. Hayward fires it back in. Cavanaugh sets it up for Dylan Key. Extended action for Dylan Key. Missed his last 7 games, hadn't played since early November. Just his 8th game overall in the season. A shot here from Kovalevsky comes loose in front and play to the sideboards. NYU warming to the task here in the second period. Shot again coming from Brandon Ritchie this time, and the junior from Pennsylvania has his shot stopped by one Jake Kaler.
Well, this NYU team, as we've noted, has struggled scoring goals throughout the season. But one of the ways to fix that kind of problem is just by getting pucks on net. If you ask any hockey coach, shooting from all angles frequently can cause problems for the goalies of the other team. And on that play, we saw just why twice. An NYU shot hitting the inside of the blocker of Jake Kaler, nearly squeaking in. Orange got lucky on that play.
Colin Morrow flips a puck in. Richard Doherty to it first. Failed to clear. Padalino inching up. Blake Howard around. Behind his goal, a big hit put on by Lucas Prestamo on Blake Howard. Prestamo follows up and carries in. On the near side, shot one to the short side and behind. Padalino follows up and fires one again around behind the net. Taken on by Jack Orn up to the middle. Got a pass back from Richard Doherty, and Jack Orn sends it in. The senior goes in after it, as does Richard Doherty. Jack Orn in the corner. Press of the boards by David Rosen, the 5'7" defenseman for the Orange. Played to the middle and back out of the zone for Brian Tacone to take. Sophomore D-man from Connecticut to the far side for Blake Howard, and back in for Jake Padalino and David Rosen to retreat. NYU a partial change, as it's Jake Padalino playing one off his man Preston back to the line for a hurried shot that was fluttered wide. Didn't get all of it, did Andrew Williamson. Back again for Brian Tacone. Tacone to the middle. Tacone a shot off the chest of Kaler. Back to the line for Williamson to play it on. Directed in deep. Out there, Adam Peck, harassed a little bit by Rosen. Got it back and fired one off of Rosen's stick and into the netting. Face-off stays in. Nearing the midway mark of regulation time. 19 shots to 14 for NYU. They hold a 2-1 advantage. Their first advantage in any of the 3 games against the Orange today.
Yeah, Corey, I don't know about you, but this feels like a totally different NYU team from the one that we saw in Chelsea. They've been establishing zone pressure, keeping the puck in the Syracuse zone, something that we didn't see at all from the last time these two teams played. They really look like they're controlling the play, at least early in this second period.
Jason Gallego shoved in the corner. Puck in front off Scott Mulligan. Rather, Brandon Ritchie, 9, not 8. Mulligan not in the lineup today. Ritchie reverses one to the other corner. Or it's Hayward playing it off the stanchion, off the barrier between the glass. A shot here from Gallegos was knocked down to the sideboards by Jake Kaler. Hayward went down as the puck comes out to center ice. Luke Cato back. Play is touched by an offside Brandon Ritchie, and a whistle is blown. Win that weekend series back on December 7th and 8th at NYU down in Manhattan, New York. Syracuse won 6-0 and 3-2 in the 2 games. They outshot NYU by a margin of 82-47. Michael Kuzo started both games of that series and was 45 out of 47 in net. For the Orange, it was their first ever sweep of the NYU Violets. Of course, they haven't played very long, just their second year of play since joining the ESCHL. Tyler Ains moves it on here. Prestano sent one in behind, sends Ains on his way. Ains couldn't get it in front off the leg of Dylan Key. Back to the line to be held in by Brezzi. Tyler Ains does work against Key once more. Sent one in front for Prestamo. Can't get the shot away. Prestamo tied up in his legs as it's Brezzi to take to the near side boards. Drifts back to the point and fires it in. Behind it's Prestamo. Tyler Ains back for Lucas Prestamo. Has a man in front, Bedford. Can't get it to him. Set it back for Corkman. A shot loose in front again as a juicy rebound given up by Kavanaugh. But the Violets do clear. All the way down. Will this become icing? No. Cole Donovan there to get there first as Corcoran walled him off. Brezzi follows up on Donovan here. Corcoran joins in the fray as the Violets change behind the play. A shot fluttered behind the net. Stephen Brezzi just calms everything down. Patrick Corcoran here. Outletted on by Connor McNamara, the captain, looking for his first goal in some time. Nearly got one here as he got all the way through. Hasn't scored a point in his last 4 games. A pass across from Francisi could not find Connor McNamara, and the Orange retreat as it's played up to the far side for James Long, and the freshman fires it in. Jake Kaler out to play it. His 12th start of the year, 8 wins and 3 losses, a goals against average of 3.03, best on the team. Puck in front of a tough angle by Richards. Loose again for Richards, and he had it knocked down off the pad. McNamara can't clear. Neither could Jake Padalino. Kept in by Frank Horowitz. Both goals off the stick of number 29, and it's Horowitz who retreats back to earn an icing call.
NYU has been really strong right in and around the Orange goal so far tonight. They've been picking up pucks off of rebounds left and right. Syracuse Orange have done a terrible job of picking up sticks and keeping the rebounds out of harm's way. Definitely something that this Orange team has to clean up, because both of the NYU goals so far have been the result of pinball-like plays around the net.
Trip Francisi against Mason Gallegos. Offensive zone draw for the Violets, won by the Orange. Padalino can't pitchfork it out. Has a second chance and still can't advance the puck, but McNamara comes in to clear it to center. Flopped it off the stick of Brian Tacone, who knocks it down and gave it on to Braden Ritchie, who carries over the line. Brian Tacone in front. Puck was wide of his stick. He got it back and threw one off of the top of the net. Peter Owen Hayward fires it down. Kavanaugh watches it go around. Taken on by Tacone. And then Andrew Williamson up the boards. Got it out to center and played back in for Brian Tacone to take again. Patrick Corcoran in the middle. Retreats back for Berezi. Played one off the low glass, and Hayward, the assistant captain, the goal scorer for the Orange, just gets it in front of the NY Who sign on the backboards behind Patrick Kavanaugh. Rally towels given out today, and that sign, not from the team, that's a fan who made that. Matt Jacobs carries in. Jacobs went down as he crossed the line offside.
I think we're going to get a penalty call here on NYU.
We might. I didn't see an arm go up. Certainly a tripping call could be made, and it is
Gallegos.
A hook against Gallegos. So the captain for NYU goes to the box, and the Orange, who are 0 for 2 on power plays, go to the penalty box, or rather the man up once again. They draw more penalties than any other team in the ESCHL, and they've gotten 3 calls so far.
Yeah, it's because they're such a fast team. They've been overwhelming opposing defensemen all year, drawing a lot of penalties in the process.
It's Connor Preston behind. Prestamo sets up in front. Trip Francisi on the boards. Stephen Brezzi along with Cato. Got it on for Francisi. Back for Cato wide side. Shot. Loose puck in front as it trickled on for a chance for Prestamo. Slides one to the blue paint. And after all of that, a whistle as Kavanaugh covers up.
Yeah, that puck just tantalizingly rolled right through the crease, through a lot of Syracuse Orange legs. No one managed to get their stick on it for what looked like would have been more or less an open net on the NYU goal.
Under 8 to play, second period, 140 on the Orange power play. Their third chance, they're 0 for 2. Brezzi plays it to the corner for Prestamo. Sent one for Preston, was off his stick, and slapped down the ice by NYU's Parker Richards.
Great play by Jack Orn for the Violets there, getting a stick on the pass to prevent a very good scoring chance on this power play.
And a senior from Maine playing his 88th career game, Jack Orn, number 24 in black. Stephen Brezzi playing his 95th career game, got that puck. And it's Peter Owen Hayward who retreats and sends one up the right side himself. Curls back and got it on for Cato, but it was off a leg of Cato, and Jack Orn again clears. 1 minute gone on the power play. Orange just one chance in the early going of the man advantage. Have to start the rush here with Stephen Brezzi taking a pass from Hatchett, sending one in from the checkered line. No icing here as Kavanaugh gets a stick on it. Hatchett sets all the way up. Puck comes behind. Dylan Key there. Key played it off of Jacobs. Jacobs tried to swat one ahead, played it off the boards right to himself, and the Violets intercept and clear. 30 left on the power play.
Yeah, this power play continuing to look out of sorts for the Orange. Can't really seem to establish any sort of rhythm in the zone. There it is again, NYU breaking up another play.
As Kovalevsky got it here, and it's taken out by Brandon Ritchie. All the way down with 8 left on the power play. Quick outlet pass as it's Jacobs giving it on to David Rosen, fresh off the bench, knocked down by James Long. 2 seconds, 1, and up on the penalty. Syracuse 0 for 3 on the power play as a shot flutters wide by John Kovalevsky.
I think Syracuse got away with a pretty flagrant 2-minute men on the ice call. Also at the end of that power play, a fire wagon change for the Orange. Had about 8 players on the ice at the same time. That's a lucky break for them.
A call that referees often do miss, as it's Dylan Key chasing this one down. Icing is the call if he gets there, and he does. Dylan Key, the sophomore from Ontario, the only non-American-born player on this NYU side. Under 6 to play in the second period. Violets with 20 shots. The Orange with 15. NYU with a couple of goals by Frank Horowitz. The Orange with one beautiful goal by Peter Owen Hayward. A shot here from Cole Donovan. Surprised Kaler a bit, and he made the stop in low. Jack Orn has it behind. The D-man takes it. David Rosen played it up the wall. Taken on by Fei Huyan and just fired in for Owen Harrington to go against Jack Orn. Orn follows up here. Good work by Jack Orn to twist one along, but Harrington intercepts and flops it down all the way. Andrew Williamson back, retreats as far as the circle. Play continues, no icing. Off the head, I believe, off the face of Padalino, Connor Tracy wants a call as a collision with Andrew Williamson in front of his bench. Officials again say play on. Tyler Ames able to corral it. Got it back to the line for Catto to step up and shot one. That's right off the Violet logo on Patrick Kavanaugh's chest. Played along for Prestamble. Got the pass from Ains. Prestamble middle. A shot to the far side. Would not go. Rebound followed up and followed behind the net by Luke Catto. Tyler Ains plays it in. Followed up by Chris Brunner Grande. Along for Lucas Prestamble. Prestamo's got it behind. Under 5 to play in the second period. Prestamo just keeps on moving. Wheels to the high circle. Prestamo still to his forehand. Slid one middle. Finds Hatchett, who steps up and fires, and a save made blocker side. Hatchett's got it again. Wraps it around to the far side. Threw one in front. Ains was wide open on the near side. Could not find it. Puck comes all the way out after an extended shift for the Orange offense that yielded multiple near goals.
Yeah, what an incredible shift by Ford Hatchett and Lucas Prestamo specifically. Prestamo made an unbelievable pass over to Hatchett, which winded up in a great scoring chance for the Orange. Really good shift. Felt like a power play, even though it was even strength.
Yeah, his pass to Catto and the one to Tyler Ains, both about the same sort of thing. Hayward drags to the right side. Held up at the circle. Officials are going to give a call here as Connor Tracy was begging for one. That's a hook again against the Violets. And Syracuse, whose power play has been nothing short of abysmal so far through 3 opportunities, has another chance to break even.
Yeah, I mean, there are bad penalties and there are good penalties. And if you're Chris Constantino and this NYU coaching staff, I think you're okay with this taking this penalty because Peter Owen Hayward in the slot, right in the middle of the ice like that, he gets that shot off. I think there's a pretty good chance that puck's in the back of the net and it's a 2-2 game.
Well, the call is on Parker Richards, the sophomore from Malone, New York, about 50 miles west of Plattsburgh out in the North Country. So an upstate New York guy called for the hooking. His first action since early November. Patrick Corcoran flutters a puck in, comes loose to the outside, and Tyler Ains, or rather Peter Owen Hayward, gets it back at the line. Check that, that's Corcoran. On back for Catto to play. Catto looks, shot one to the far side. Prestamo and Preston both in front, could not tip it. Francisi for Patrick Corcoran. Trip Francisi, sent it in low. Back for Francisi, intercepted by Kovalevsky, and skated on out as far as center. Gallegos follows up here and fires it all the way. Jake Kaler out to play it aggressively as Kovalevsky was charging hard. Trip Francisi, a minute 15 left on this power play. Orange's fourth chance has yielded no goals. Kaler sets it up for Corcoran again. Patrick Corcoran waits, and Luke Cato carries up the block S to the middle through two defenders, got one in, sticked away by Kavanaugh. Into the corner. Played out for Peter Owen Hayward, along with Jacobs on this power play. Hatchet for Hayward. Peter Owen with space. Shot one, looking for a headhunter to the corner, couldn't find it. Just missed about a foot wide. Hatchet along for a one-timer by Hayward that hits off the top of the glass. NYU tipped it away with a stick. Harrington in behind, wants Hayward, got the puck to him. 30 seconds left on the power play. Matt Jacobs far side. Hatchet along for Matt Jacobs again. Jacobs walks to the circle, played it back for Harrington, a shot off the pipe! The best chance of the night on the power play. Harrington hit the iron. 15 left on the man up. Hatchet all the way. Tyler Raines there, drags, tries to get by. He's held up. There's no arm up by the official. I can't believe it. Held up all the way. Officials say, play on. Penalty time is up. The Orange with so many near chances on that fourth man advantage opportunity end up going 0 for 4 nonetheless on the power play, but not without a pipe hit and a near breakaway for Tyler Raines.
Yeah, not a lot of puck luck on that power play for the Syracuse Orange. We saw on a one-timer by Hayward also caught the stick of Alex Peck and harmlessly went over the net. A puck that would have been a great scoring chance for the Orange. Not a lot of bounces on that power play, but definitely scary moments for the NYU Violets.
Somehow Tyler Raines was not penalized on the play, was not wrong, excuse me.
Yeah, that certainly looked like he should have drawn that penalty. Looked like about as clear a cut hooking call on that breakaway. Should have really yielded a penalty shot, Corey.
Yeah, or at least a 2-minute power play to make it 5-on-3.
A little bit surprised that Connor Tracy and the Syracuse coaching staff isn't more in the ears of the officials about that one, because that's a big no call.
Well, Peter Owen Hayward won the draw against his opposite 17, Mason Gallegos. Brought on by Tyler Raines, who had the near breakaway. Sends Harrington on his way. He has it here on the near side. 1:20 left in the period. 2-1 NYU. Intercepted Adam Bedford. Bedford takes it behind the net. Ryan Tacone sends it up the wall. Brezzi keeps it in and flutters it behind. Sends Bedford again on his way. Reverse for Ains. Wraps it around. Fires to the middle. A shot here by Bedford is blocked in front. Bedford trying to kick it from his skate to stick. Could not. Gallegos can't clear. Taken on by Ains. Reverse the pass right into the path of Gallegos. Little nifty play doesn't work for Tyler Raines, and the Orange have to back up the center with 50 left in the second period. Patrick Kavanaugh back. It's been all Syracuse for the last few minutes, especially since that NYU goal by Horowitz to put them up by 1, but have not found the equalizer. Sent across for an open Colin Morrow. The New Jerseyan holds it here on the goal line. Pass comes to the side of the net. Loose in front for Pucciarelli, and he couldn't cash in. Another one in front for Pucciarelli, trying to bang away at it. Reaching at it, Kavanaugh, he does pounce on it, and knocked down by Kavanaugh is Joey Pucciarelli. If there's any one guy who's going to get knocked down by a goalie after causing a scuffle, it is number 19 in white.
I think that's the only player I've ever played with or against or seen play who could manage to get knocked over by a goalie. He's always someone to be rattling other teams' players, draws a lot of penalties. He must have said something to really get under the skin of Kavanaugh on that one.
Well, Pucciarelli was involved in quite a few of those scuffles back in Chelsea, and we got a penalty coming up here. The officials sorting things out. Mason Gallegos, the captain, talking with the official.
Wouldn't that be extraordinary if Kavanaugh got the penalty for hitting Pucciarelli after the whistle? I don't think I've ever seen that get called, more or less happen.
We'll see what they put up on the board as Gallegos has gone to serve a penalty. I guess it is against Gallegos, as 17 has been put up on the scoreboard here at Kennedy. So the Orange, it's not like they haven't been given power play chances. This is their 5th. They just have to capitalize on one of them. They're 0 for 4. Power play will carry over if the Orange don't score in the last 24 seconds. On back for Hatchet. Fired it across. Backed up for Jacobs. His shot skidded off a stick of Richards. Hatchet dropped it back for Jacobs again. Holds high slot. Works against Richards. Has it, a shot, goes wide to the near side. played all the way down, and Jacobs retreats and turns with 3 to go. Fires it all the way in, knocked down by a Violet. A shot at the buzzer is stopped. A quick turnaround chance. Found the stick of Patrick Kavanaugh. And that's 2 periods of play.
Wow.
About as fun of a hockey game as you could have. The Orange trail 2-1. The Violets leading with 20 minutes to go. The Orange will go to the man advantage to begin the final 20 minutes. We'll have it for you here on the SU Hockey Network. Back for the start of the third period. An entertaining first 40 minutes has led us to a 2-1 NYU lead over the Syracuse Orange with Cal Stewart, Cory Berberian. This is certainly an important game for Syracuse when you consider the implications in the ESCHL standings. We'll show you them here. Stony Brook 5 points behind Syracuse. They have a big 2-game series coming up in a month. And for the Orange, to secure the top 20 seed in Dallas and potentially a first-round bye in the ESCHL tournament, they have to keep winning, but they're having trouble doing that here today.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. I mean, if you'd asked me about 2 weeks ago, I think the consensus was that Syracuse had all but locked up the number 2 place in the ESCHL if all had gone according to plan. That was until last weekend, though, when Stony Brook managed to sweep Liberty, winning in overtime and in regulation against the Flames. 2 huge wins that no one really would have expected. Now Stony Brook and Syracuse are in a dogfight for the rest of the way in the ESCHL. Yes. And they'll be coming here, Syracuse will be traveling down to Stony Brook in 2 weeks, which will be a huge series of games.
Yep, February 16th and 17th, and Liberty followed up with a win over Rochester College 13-2 yesterday, so perhaps no rust for the Flames after losing on Long Island to Stony Brook. The Orange are pretty comfortable second place, but I'd be more concerned about the top 20 seeding because the regular season champion gets the automatic bid to nationals, not the tournament champion. So for the Orange, it's more important to stay top 20 rather than take perhaps second place or third place in the tournament. But anyway.
And for both of those things, this game is enormous. Hard to imagine what would happen to the Orange in the rankings if they fall to this NYU team, which, despite what they've been able to do here tonight, they've looked very impressive. On paper, they don't look like a very impressive team. And especially in a ranking system that's heavily computerized, that could hurt the Orange chances.
Yeah, it's entirely computerized, and the Orange's loss to Niagara put them down 2 spots. Can't imagine what would happen if NYU notched a win here today. The Orange certainly expected to sweep by any computer models there might be. So the Orange do a power play for the first minute 10 of the second period. Harrington flops it on back for Catto to play up top. Jacobs looks to the far side, has Hayward on the near side. A shot is stopped and covered up by Patrick Kavanaugh, who has made 20 saves out of 21 opportunities. Not bad is Kavanaugh, who is 1-1 in his career against the Orange in 2 starts. On the season, 5-5, his 11th start today, with a goals against average of 4.11. Has notched his 300th save of the season earlier today. Hatchett flutters a puck to the far side as it's Jacobs holding it in. Hayward back for Matt Jacobs, takes a look with 45 on the power play. Forward Hatchett on the far side. On for Jacobs straight away. A shot gets through on Kavanaugh, and the junior goaltender covers up.
Yeah, Cory, you get the sense that these next 42 seconds, the balance of this power play is extremely important for Syracuse to set the tone. They've had 4 power play chances already in this game, 0 for 4 so far. If they go to 0 for 5, you might see some frustration set in for this power play unit and the first line in general.
Patrick Kavanaugh, who started the first game of 2 on Manhattan back on December 7th of this year, allowed 5 goals to the Orange on 30 shots, saved 25, allowed 5 goals, was pulled in favor of Aiden Levy-Minzy in the final 12 minutes of the game. Has played so far so good tonight. Hayward, while falling down, hit the outside of the cage. Power play continues for the Orange. They've got 30 seconds left on it. Matt Jacobs steps up to the corner. The captain McNamara there. NYU can't sweep it out. It's played to the far side for Hatchett. Sends him on his way. Got it on for Harrington to finesse it back for forward Hatchett. Jacobs on the other side. Hatchett a shot off the chest of Alex Peck. Taken by Harrington along with 13 on the power play. McNamara back up top for Jacobs, who takes a look. Hatchett on goal and deflected wide. Matt Jacobs to the boards. Penalty time at 3 seconds and 2. Hatchett walks in. A shot gets through again off Hayward's stick. Penalty time is up. Orange 0 for 5 on the power play as the captain Mason Gallegos leaves. Puck knocked down. Hayward tried to kick it along and could not. Taken back by Cole Donovan. The junior moves it up for the Violets. Gave it on to John Kovalevsky, who carries in. Kovalevsky a shot wide to the short side of Kaler. Stepping up to hold it in is Sam Rappaport, the Colorado native. Puts one on Kaler, who stops it in low.
Yeah, Cory, on paper, that power play probably looks really good for the Syracuse Orange. They managed 5 or 6 shots, had continued zone time for the most of the power play. Yet they didn't really have any major grade A scoring chances aside from Peter Owen Hayward's shot that hit the outside of the net. A lot of shots from the point that were clearly seen by the goaltender Kavanaugh for NYU.
Spinning around at center, Kovalevsky, and John Kovalevsky gets it on for Sam Rappaport, who took a tumble. Gets it in anyway. Corcoran there touches up, but a tripping call is made, and a power play to come. We'll see against whom. It'll be against Connor Preston, and the Orange this time get the minor penalty.
Yeah, kind of a dangerous looking play for Connor Preston here. Knee-to-knee hit. Lucky that will go into the books just as a trip. Remember, against Delaware, Peter Owen Hayward actually got ejected for a similar knee-to-knee hit. This obviously not as egregious, but if you're the Orange, you're happy that's just a 2-minute minor.
Yeah, Hayward had 3 points in that game, including a goal against Delaware, but was ejected late in the game. Violet's third power play, they're 0 for 2 on the night. Alex Peck to the near side. Taken by James Long, swings it back for Alex Peck, who moves up and fires one that didn't get through. Followed up by Long, and he sends one, didn't get all of it, and it came to the near side, where Pucciarelli steps up on the other side. Pucciarelli out there with Morrow, moves up 2 on everybody. Pucciarelli tried to drag by Adam Peck and could not. And Adam Peck just curls around behind with 1:30 left on the power play. Short-handed chance for the Orange goes awry. Adam Peck moves it in, can't get by Brezzi, but Parker Richards follows up in the corner. Richards sends one around to the other side. Taken along by Frank Horowitz. He's got both goals for NYU today. Does a lap, tries to wheel to the near side again. Taken away by Parker Richards. Back again, Adam Peck. And Peck does a lap, reverses one, and it's carried on by James Long. Sent one middle and on back for Peck to take. Alex Peck, a shot, doesn't get through. Was blocked on the way by Pucciarelli, manning the slot. And it's back to center ice for James Long to curl and carry in. Crosses to the middle, try to reach out as Corcoran took the puck away. Corcoran sends it behind, but right in the path of Frank Horowitz. Horowitz there, got it on to Peck. Peck in low, side of the net, can't get a shot through. All the way back it comes, 35 on the power play. Brandon Ritchie there, from a tough angle, had it tipped away off of Horowitz. Ritchie comes to the boards to get it. This power play continues for NYU. Sent one middle, could not find Horowitz. Comes on back for James Long to hold. Played it in to the captain, Gallegos. Got it on to Brandon Ritchie. Works it in deep. A shot, save made. Rebound loose in front. Down is Kaler. Puck came in on it again. And it is stopped in the crease by Jake Kaler somehow. Not the first time he's gone sprawling in the blue. And not the first time he's made a stop off that.
Yeah, scary looking play for Jake Kaler in the Orange there. But over the course of that penalty kill, Joey Pucciarelli showing again and again why he is one of the Orange premier penalty killers. Couple of block shots, couple of forced turnovers. He's always solid when the Orange are down a man.
Owen Harrington skates it out on the far side. A pass is wide of Jacobs. It was beyond the checkered line, the official rules, and Jacobs holding his hand out at the official as to say, really? He doesn't think it's an icing, but the linesman did think so, and the faceoff comes back. With 2 seconds left on the minor penalty to Connor Preston. This faceoff to actually come to center ice.
Peter Owen Hayward sitting on the bench, Syracuse, ready to get on the ice after Connor Preston's penalty elapses.
Preston comes off, Hayward comes on, as you said. Puck in front, Jacobs' backhand is stopped low by Kavanaugh. Wide open was Jacobs, had the puck on his backhand. Tips a puck here, and it flutters in behind. Jacobs tried to follow up. Kovalevsky able to nudge it out. And Luke Cattle retreats to his own zone. Ritchie watching him. Flutters one high, comes on for Hayward. Moving in, he missed the net wide. Was one-on-one, even with the D-man. And when you're Peter Owen Hayward, if you're even, you're leaving.
Yeah, he looked like a football cornerback on that play, jumping a route. Aggressively coming towards the pass, beating the defender, and getting a mini breakaway on that play. Another good play by Hayward.
David Rosen steps up and fires it in from center. Off the leg of Richard Doherty. Got it out. Off of Cole Donovan. In for Kaler to watch it go around to Connor McNamara. Hasn't found the back of the net tonight. No points in his last 4 games for McNamara. A pointless streak that was preceded by a 4-game goal streak. So a bit of a cold stretch for Connor. McNamara's got it here. Can't get out with the puck. Padalino can. The Central New York native from Skinny Atlas got it on. And it's Connor Preston carrying into the corner. Trip Francisi had to go past him. Cole Donovan moves it up 3-on-2. 3-on-3 with Trip Francisi getting back. A shot here from Cole Donovan on the outside is stopped into the chest of Jake Kaler, and we get a whistle. Just under 6 minutes gone by in our third and final period. NYU winless against the Orange so far in 2018-19. Violets won 3 of the 4 games against Syracuse last season, including the final 3 games of the series. The Orange won the first game 6-2 here at Kennedy. The Violets won the next game in overtime and then won both games at Chelsea Piers in 2017-18.
Yeah, these first 5 minutes of this third period looking a lot like the previous 40 minutes of the game. Lots of back and forth action, a pair of power plays for each team that were each unsuccessful. Kind of the theme of this game.
Another one nearly off the bench as the puck comes down for Dylan Key to take. Sophomore from Huntsville, Ontario, the only non-U.S. born player on the ice today. Joey Pucciarelli tried to fork it ahead, but it's taken on by Adam Peck, who carries in, but offside was Parker Richards, and going into the net is Adam Peck. Kaler getting out of the way, and we'll see what we get here. Adam Peck a bit shaken up.
I think Cattle will be getting a penalty on this play. Kind of an unlucky turn of events. Didn't look malicious to me, but it looked like Cattle and the NYU forward just got tangled up, sending the Violet into the net. Dangerous looking play. I don't think there was that much malicious intent by Cato, and he's shaking his head on the penalty box right now, suggesting the same thing.
Yeah, Cato goes to the box. Just his 6th minor penalty of the season. For a guy who's a 6'3" D-man who loves getting chippy, he doesn't take too many calls. Brandon Ritchie, a shot from the circle, goes wide. Comes up the boards for the Orange to clear, and they do so as Harrington gives chase. Out to play it, Patrick Kavanaugh. Send it away from Harrington, and Brandon Ritchie just curls back to his own zone. Orange 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. Neither team has found the back of the net on a power play. There have been 8 combined chances. Orange 0 for 5. NYU nothing out of 3. This is their 4th chance. Mason Gallegos with room along the boards. Got it in for Padolino to take for the Orange. Stephen Brezzi getting out of the way of the referee. Swatted out of the zone and all the way down by Connor McNamara as he took a free puck and fires to the length. Orange do get changes here with 1:15 left on this penalty kill. 7 minutes gone by, third period of play. Orange trail by 1. Directed on and brought on by Parker Richards. Can't get by Connor Preston. And Preston chips it to himself. He's got a 1-on-1. Getting back is Alex Peck. Preston, a shot. He scores! A shorty for Preston that's tied it at 2.
What an awesome play by Connor Preston there. Just willing his way physically through the NYU defenseman, slaps at the puck, finds a post, goes in. Great play by Connor Preston. He's been on a bit of an offensive hot streak himself.
It's a 4-game point streak for Preston. He's got 3 goals in his last 4 games. Starting to find his offensive touch. That's his 5th goal of the year.
And that's a huge goal for this Syracuse team. 2-2 now. Little under halfway through the third period. They're well poised to make a run here, and there you go.
One in front for Hayward. He missed it high. Nearly got the lead right back in a matter of seconds. Orange still shorthanded for the next 40. NYU can't bring it in. Hayward retreats and gives it for Stephen Brezzi to clear it all the way down. It comes down for Kavanaugh. This NYU team, I said they were susceptible to giving up shorthanded goals. That's the 5th shorty they have allowed this season, the most in the ESCHL. An abysmal special teams unit for NYU. You saw it right there. Frank Horowitz doing another lap, as he did on the last power play. Brandon Ritchie takes it into the slot, fires one high of Jake Kaler. David Rosen takes it around behind. Fighting for it, Adam Peck. Got it on for Horowitz to play it back. Here's a shot that was tipped in front off of James Long. Trying to kick it to Rosen. He gets it there. Ains calling for the puck. He gets it. Tyler Ains moving in, has to curl to the circle. Takes a shot anyway, and a stop made by Kavanaugh. The pass was wide of Ains, and he tried to corral it, and he ended up foiling his own breakaway attempt. Knocked down at the center line is Pucciarelli, and that draws an interference call against Mason Gallegos. Wild sequence, and Pucciarelli knocked down by the shoulder of Brandon Ritchie.
Oh my goodness. Joey Pucciarelli just drew a second penalty, I think, against NYU.
Trip Francisi getting restless near his own bench.
I think the Orange are going to have a 2-man advantage for a couple of minutes here.
Well, one penalty was called on Pucciarelli being knocked down by Mason Gallegos. And now Adam Peck, 16, not 17, is being sent to the box. And Peck arguing something with the official. And that will be a 2-man advantage for Syracuse. 0 for 5 on the power play, but they have a shorthanded goal to their credit. And all the momentum here in the third period.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, Cory, but it seems in every game Syracuse plays, one way or another, Joey Pucciarelli finds a way to get inside the heads of the opponents. He just drew 2 penalties in a matter of 10 seconds on that play. Such a valuable part of his game is the ability to give the Orange opportunities on the power play.
5-on-3 for a whole 2 minutes. Near side, Jacobs gives to Hatchett. Back in front, tipped by a couple of sticks. Harrington takes it behind. Doherty tried to take it over. McNamara's got it here back of the net. Doherty pressuring. An open far side for Hayward. Jacobs kicks it skate to stick. Jacobs gets the return pass from Hatchett. Deals it inside of the net. Pass in front, McNamara, a couple of whacks at it, and it comes to the corner where Hayward takes over. 30 gone on the Miners. Hayward takes it over on the boards. Shot one off a stick of a Violet. That was Doherty who got a stick on it and out of play. Face off will stay in the zone. You mentioned Joey Pucciarelli taking all those penalties, or drawing them. He's got over 100 career penalty minutes, but probably has more penalty minutes drawn in his 4 years with the Orange.
Yeah, whenever there's any sort of controversy or extracurricular activities on the ice, it's a pretty safe bet that somewhere in the pile Joey Pucciarelli is. So good at getting inside the heads of opposing players.
Here's Corcoran and Cato. Francisi takes the one-time pass. Slap pass in deep for Francisi. Out for Preston. Francisi battling away and shoved down as Francisi by Kavanaugh. This is getting good. Wow.
That's the second hit that Kavanaugh has in this game. He's sent 2 Orange forwards. He's put 2 Orange forwards on their backs already. You don't often see that from a goalie. Patrick Kavanaugh is pulling no punches tonight.
He has 2 hits, probably more than some of the players on his team. No penalty results from that, so we remain 5-on-3 for Syracuse with 1:10 left, and the Orange get changes again. Owen Harrington to take the draw. The Hayward and Jacobs line with Owen Harrington on the ice here. McNamara also joins them. They got 4 forwards on Syracuse. Hatchett the only D-man. Hatchett has it here with the slot. A slap pass across and a shot was stopped off the stick of Matt Jacobs. Jacobs takes over. Back for Ford Hatchett straight away. Mans the point. Matt Jacobs. Shot one wide again. Hayward takes over now. Ford Hatchett, 45 on the power play. The 5-on-3. A whistle here, and the faceoff's coming out. Perhaps another crease call.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. You know, you don't really see this called that often. Depends a lot on the referee, but tonight looks like the officials are being pretty strict about staying out of the NYU crease.
Well, not only that, we've seen games pretty much all season following the team. I don't think I've ever seen that, and we've seen it twice today.
Yeah.
You never know. Luke Cato flops it in, and 40 seconds remain on the 5-on-3. NYU has defended it as best they can. Prestamo battles behind. Richard Doherty mucking it up. Trip Francisi comes away at the far circle. Cato switches places with Stephen Brezzi. Luke Cato, a shot is caught by Kavanaugh for a whistle.
Yeah, now just 26 seconds left on this 2-man advantage. If the Violets can manage to kill off a 2-minute-long 2-man advantage, that's a huge momentum shift in this game.
26 left on the 5-on-3. Francisi to take the draw. It comes to the near corner, and Francisi steps to the puck as it skidded up the wall. Francisi kept it in. Tried to get by a Violet and did. Got it back to the line to Stephen Brezzi. Brezzi looks over the traffic. Gave it on for an open Francisi. Pokes it back for Cato. A shot here from Brezzi. Tipped off a skate. Rebound taken by NYU, and Parker Richards can clear. Richards got it out with 2 and 1 on the penalties. NYU kills off a 2-minute 5-on-3. They have to be gassed, but certainly momentum shifter for the Violets.
And the woes continue for the Syracuse power play. That moves them to 0 for 6.
0 for 7. There's 2 penalties.
7. uncharacteristic lack of success from this Orange power play unit.
Great play by Tyler Raines to keep the play on side. Pucciarelli's pass was picked off by Gallegos.
Yeah, how about that flexibility from Taines doing a full split on the ice to ensure that that wasn't offside.
David Rosen up the boards. Played it off the glass. Played in by Williamson. Loose in front again. Going away at it, Horowitz. Puck at the side of the net. Play is blown dead as the net is off the moorings. Frank Horowitz nearly had a hat trick, number 29 in black, and a wild play is stopped.
Yeah, it's starting to look real quick like the addition of Horowitz has been a game changer for this NYU squad. He's been in the center of most of their good scoring chances. He's a presence down in front of the net by the crease area with his stick. He's been a lot for the Orange defenseman to handle, and his 2 goals in this game are evidence of just that.
Under 9 to play in regulation time. 2-2 our score. This becomes an icing. Well, Syracuse and Penn State on the women's hockey side of things played to a 1-1 tie, a game that required overtime, but ties are a thing in women's college hockey in the CHA. So we could have a situation where both the women's and men's games back-to-back require extra time today. We'll see.
Yeah, you get the sense that the rest of this game, the final 8 minutes of this period, are going to be an absolute dogfight. A lot of chippiness starting to happen already. Penalties called on both teams. Looks like the refs just missed one on there.
And Pucciarelli arguing his stick got held up, and the officials saw it all the way and didn't put his arm up.
But NYU isn't coming all the way up here to give up. They're going to be playing hard for the rest of this game.
Richie Hold, but gave the puck up to Matt Jacobs, who circles behind. Jacobs, the junior from Sudbury, Massachusetts, had the game-winning goal with 53 seconds left against NYU. The last time these two teams played, that was back at Chelsea. On back for a shot, looking for a tip was James Long. Couldn't find Brandon Ritchie in front. 8 minutes to go. Peter Owen Hayward avoids a check as he gets the puck out to Owen Harrington, who slaps it in, goes after it. Other 24, Jack Orn. Up the boards for Cole Donovan. The Californian can skate it out, just curls back here, and sends one right in the path of Jacobs, who carries up 3-on-2. Jacobs gave it away in turn, and it's Cole Donovan the other way, 3-on-2 for the Violets.
That was a really bad play by Donovan, followed by a really good recovery by Donovan.
And a coverage here by Kaler to thwart an odd man opportunity. Shots are 30-27 for Syracuse. They were 10-10 after 1. NYU had a shot lead by a couple of shots after the second period. Syracuse has certainly turned the tide here in the third. This is really the only period where we can say Syracuse has had an edge.
Yeah, and there have been a couple of moments throughout this game where it kind of appeared like Syracuse's offense was going to get hot and start scoring goals, like we've seen them a lot throughout this season. But every time NYU has really staved off the Syracuse attack, they've managed to stay in this game.
Hatchett skates it up. Hatchett flutters it in cross corner. Prestamo after it. Cato steps up the defenseman there. Preston holds the line, but it comes to McNamara and then Prestamo. McNamara off the side of the net, looking to end his goalless streak. Ford Hatchett chips a puck that comes to an open far circle, where it's brought on by Blake Howard, and his pass went off of Jack Orn and in. Luke Cato backs it up for the Orange. Preston far side. Preston skates it out. Had the second goal, the game-tying goal did Connor Preston. Offside play is chipped out to center, and the Violets regain it with Doherty. Richards crosses the blue line and carries in. Had his shot blocked by the first man, and Pucciarelli goes in after it. Luke Cato takes it to the corner. Pucciarelli turns back as Parker Richards shoves him against the glass. Richards in there again with Cato now. Puck in front from Horowitz. Horowitz a second chance off the side of the goal. NYU applies the pressure again with Fei Hu Yan. Drop back from Pucciarelli to Stephen Brezzi, and a much-needed clear for Syracuse. Ryan Taccone back. Partial change for the Orange. And they'll complete it with Francisi coming off along with Brezzi. Adam Peck, an open near side, carries it up 2 lines. Crosses middle, dropped it back. Gallegos, the captain, shot one to a wide side. That was open for a moment and missed. Gallegos takes it with under 6 to go in the third period. A shot from Gallegos didn't get through to Kaler. Backhand in front from Horowitz. Gallegos again charging away at it. Gallegos in the open slot, can't knock it down, and it's cleared away by Tim Kalinowski, but not out, off the stanchion. Padalino backs it up for Patrick Corcoran, and the Orange look to clear and do it successfully this time, but carried right back up by Kovalevsky. Leading assist man for the Violets. Sends it in for Frank Horowitz. Horowitz put it off the back of the net. James Long, the freshman, shot one off of Owen Harrington. Harrington charges back, but Long also there, and Long takes it in front. Sends a puck to an open far side, looking for Kovalevsky, couldn't find him. Instead, it's Ford Hatchet. Nearing the 5-minute mark, back and forth we go here in Syracuse, New York, Kennedy Ice Pavilion with Cal Stewart, Cory Berberian. 2-2 our score. A Connor Preston goal a few minutes ago tied the game for the Orange. That's where we stand now. It's Prestamo in the offensive zone. Set one in front. No one was there except James Long for the Violets. Outlets John Kovalevsky, who fires one in. Goes well wide of Kaler. Stepping up to hold it is Brandon Ritchie. Does a lap. Kicked on back for Blake Howard. Howard can't control. The other 6 Ford Hatchet does. Trying to outlet Prestamo. He charges in. Icing is waved off. James Long pursues him. Prestamo hit against the boards by Jack Orn. Up it comes for Sam Rappaport to take and give it on for Jack Orn. The senior from Maine. Try to get by Brezian did. Sent one in front, looking for Rappaport there. Couldn't find him. Another one, they score! Richard Doherty took the shot, and the Violets lead 3-2.
Yeah, really unlucky play for the Orange there. The puck just bounced off of Lucas Prestamo's skate. Looked harmless at the time. The puck bounces right onto the stick of the Violet, who buries it without hesitation. And it's 3-2 NYU just like that. They've played a great game, Cory, and they're not going away.
Able to completely put an end to the Orange offensive surge with a couple of great chances of their own. That one comes in off Richard Doherty's stick. That's his 4th goal of the year for number 10 in black. And he comes back for this puck as icing is waved off. Hard charge from Adam Bedford to take it in front of Richard Doherty. Bedford got it on for Francisi. Trip Francisi does a lap around the far side. Corkman a shot, tipped, Ains in front, they score! Tyler Ains would not be denied. We are tied at 3.
How about that? What a way to respond for the Syracuse Orange. Tyler Ains, we've been saying his name a lot tonight, has had 2 breakaway chances that haven't resulted in shots on goal, but he has a beautiful tip followed by a rebound that he buries emphatically. NYU goaltender is upset about this play, not exactly sure what he thought went wrong, but he obviously feels that Tyler Ains wronged him in some kind of way. In any event, it's a tie game, though.
And for Tyler Ains, his 3rd goal of the year. Another one in front for the Violets is swatted away by Cato. Nearly going back and forth, exchanging markers, and we get a puck play with the high stick and a whistle.
Yeah, if it weren't for a great defensive play by Luke Cato on that one, we could have had 3 goals in just about 20 seconds. Luckily, the Syracuse defenseman got his skate on the puck and put it harmlessly into the corner.
Well, Tyler Ains was injured back in the end of the first half of the season, suffered an injury and missed a couple of games. In his 2 games since returning from injury to start the second semester, he's gotten 2 goals. Now make it 3 goals in 3 games for Ains. A nice 3-game goal streak for Tyler as even things up at 3. Harrington sends one into the NYU bench.
Yeah, Tyler Ains, one of the most skilled players on the Syracuse roster. He's gotten in trouble at times for almost trying to do too much with the puck. I know he's been making an effort to simplify his game, and it's obviously producing dividends. He scored 3 goals in 3 games.
3:20 to go in the 3rd period, all tied at 3. Stephen Brezzi around. Peter Owen Hayward up with it. Chips one all the way down in front of the NYU bench. It's played along by Brian Tacone. Taken by Brezzi, sent 2 lines. Harrington trying to advance. Owen Harrington did, got it on to Matt Jacobs, who holds up at the far circle. Back to the line for Brezzi. The Orange can set up with under 3 to go. Corcoran a shot tipped by Harrington, and it gets through on Kavanaugh, and Kavanaugh stops play. Wow. We've had just about everything in this game. Could overtime be next?
Yeah, I mean, the way that this game has been going, overtime would certainly make sense. Patrick Kavanaugh seems to be very mad with the officials in this game. He's been talking on and off with them every whistle. He seems to be very mad about what he thinks is a Syracuse player in the crease. He was motioning towards his skates, acting like he'd been slew-footed by one of the Orange forwards. But nothing comes of it as of now.
Connor McNamara here with 2:40 left in regulation. He's shoved down against the boards by Parker Richards. Back for Connor Preston. Backhands it 2 lines. James Long retreats with it there. Pucciarelli watching him. Pucciarelli goes to the bench for a change as the freshman James Long circles back, sends it to center, and Frank Horowitz tips it in. Luke Cato back. Cato was scored a goal against Niagara back on January the 12th. That nearly got the Orange back in the game. Francisi here, circle, got it on. Corcoran open, shot one, tipped away as the far side of the net was open. Another one thrown in front in Francisi's direction, couldn't find him. Ains here, shot was tipped. Knocked down by the glove of Blake Howard, and Howard skates it on out. 1:50 to go. Off of Prestamo's stick.
Cory, I think John Koleski made a game-saving block for NYU on that play. There was a lot of room on the far side for the Orange on that shot. Koleski getting just a bit of it, enough to prevent the goal.
Here's Harrington moving in. He missed the net high. Perfect chance for the Orange in the last 90 seconds. They've had plenty of those mini breakouts, and they seem to all miss to the far corner. 2-on-1 for the Violets. Gallegos moving in. Gallegos, a shot goes high at the other end. Richard Doherty steps up before he was shoved down by Harrington. Puck is behind Doherty, and Doherty needs some attention here. He is down and slow to get up. Official stops play.
Yeah, it looks like he caught the shoulder of Harrington straight to the head, and he seems to be hurting now. An unbelievable stretch of hockey played between these two teams. About 45 seconds of back and forth scoring chances. It's always a treat when you can see something like that.
NYU just called a timeout here, Cal.
Yeah, I mean, we saw both teams with incredible grade A scoring chances. Harrington with a breakaway, and then NYU with a 2-on-1 right after that. Both shots managed to go high over the crossbar of the goalies.
Well, our next broadcast will be between the 16th ranked Orange and the NYU Violets. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock, it'll be Dana Gray flying solo right here on the SU Hockey Network. I'll be on the camera, so my presence will be here in spirit tomorrow at 2 o'clock on the SU Hockey Network. The second of 2 games here at Tennedy, and the final of 4 games for Syracuse against these Violets. This is certainly a season series that is not disappointed by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, this almost feels like one of those matchups that no matter how the teams are ranked or how they're playing going into the game, it manages to be a close one. Lots of history between these two teams. We almost don't even have to mention it.
You know, one of the teams is 9-3 and one in the division. The other's 1-9. It just doesn't matter anymore.
And it hasn't been like a fluky game. It hasn't been a fluky reasons for NYU even being in this game. This has been a well-played game by both teams. Lots of back-and-forth action and parity.
55 seconds left. SU in the final minute. NYU with Parker Richards moves up 2-on-2. Richards got by 1. Follow-up shot here from Adam Peck. Can't find anything. Back to the line to be held by Brian Tacone. Long shot tipped on the way. 40 seconds left. Puck out in front again. McNamara able to get it away with his stick, and Francisi up 2-on-2 with Preston. He tied the game. Preston shot off the side of the net and out of play. Half a minute to go.
I tell you what, Horowitz was about a half an inch away from a hat trick and a 4-3 NYU lead. He had a lot of room on the back door on that deflection, just barely missed the net of Jake Kaler. Orange got lucky on that one.
Matt Jacobs and Mason Gallegos on the draw with 30 seconds left in regulation time. Overtime is 5 minutes of 3-on-3 and then a 5-round shootout if that cannot decide things. Ford Hatchet has it here. Shot goes well high, may have been tipped, and it's Hayward to take it, side of the goal. Harrington back for Ford Hatchet, has Cato on the other point. His shot was tipped, comes on for Harrington, drags it away, and got it onto Jacobs with 13 to go. Hayward in front, got it to Harrington. Shot was blocked away by Kovalevsky. He outlets, and it's taken on by Ritchie with 6 to go. Last chance for the Violets in regulation. Ritchie here, can't get by his man Brezzi to the corner, 1 second, and we will require overtime at the Tennedy Ice Pavilion. It's almost right.
Wow, what a game. And now we'll go to overtime. Syracuse has been pretty good in overtime so far this season. 2-1, of course. Big win against Liberty at Liberty, the famous Matt Jacobs goal. NYU yet to play a game that has gone to overtime so far this season, so we don't know how they are in the extra frame. But certainly no lack of chances to end this game for either team. Going back and forth in the final 5 minutes, lots of scoring chances that weren't realized.
Well, we certainly know how the Orange are in overtime. They are 2-1. The Orange defeated Liberty, the Matt Jacobs goal, lost against Liberty, and also defeated Stony Brook. That was the Trip Francisi goal here at Kennedy Ice Pavilion, the first home weekend of the season. So SU is 2-1 in the extra frame. NYU has not played beyond 60 minutes, and I would imagine, who are you going to put on? Maybe Jacobs, Hayward, and Ford Hatchet on D if you're Syracuse.
Yeah, that in the 3-on-3 overtime, those three have had lots of success. They have lots of chemistry. They check all the boxes. And Peter Owen Hayward, if you give him that much space on a 3-on-3 opportunity, he's bound to make plays, especially with Matt Jacobs alongside him, who has a knack for scoring high on quick snapshots with a lot of room.
There really is nothing better in hockey than overtime, especially the 3-on-3 format. Playoff overtime hockey is something that you almost don't want to experience and sit through if you're a fan of either team. But we have to, and we love it.
Yeah, and Jake Kaler is a goalie who's very well suited for this 3-on-3 format, which obviously involves a lot of odd man rushes, scoring chances, 2-on-1s, what have you. He's a very acrobatic goalie who tends to make lots of flexible athletic saves, which suits him well for this format of 3-on-3 overtime, which obviously involves lots of back-to-back scoring chances.
So it's Hayward and Hatchet with Stephen Brezzi on defense, not Ford Hatchet. And for NYU, it's James Long, Frank Horowitz, who has 2 goals, and Adam Peck. Puck into the NYU end first, but the Violets control in their D zone. Dropped off by James Long. Matt Jacobs tries to step up. Jacobs took the puck away, but Adam Peck retreats and takes it. Peck in behind. Watched there by Jacobs. And James Long can outlet. Has Frank Horowitz. If he gets a winner, it's a hat trick. Horowitz got by Brezzi. Has a man in front. Horowitz ran into the referee. Puck loose for Peck to take. Peck for Horowitz side of the net. Putting the paddle down is Kaler. Outlets 2-on-1. Brezzi with Matt Jacobs. Can Jacobs get another overtime winner? He's in. He missed it wide. Brezzi trying to take it. 45 gone in the overtime. Lucas Prestano off a change gets it, and he retreats back. He's joined by Harrington and Patrick Corcoran, the D-man. Up for Harrington. 2-line pass finds him. Out of Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Harrington dropped it off. Corcoran retreats. Shot one. Block was made by Alex Peck in front. NYU settles it down. It's brought on by Cole Donovan. NYU changing as well. Donovan dropped it off. Alex Peck to the circle. Peck against Harrington. Peck tries to circle. Spins back against Owen Harrington. Cole Donovan takes it here to the near side. 1:20 gone in overtime. It's Donovan forced to retreat as Corcoran defends him nicely. Cole Donovan here. 2 goals on the season for Cole Donovan. He went down as he tried to get the puck in. NYU wanting a call on Prestamo. None given. Ford Hatchet has it here.
Donovan was just absolutely erased by Lucas Prestamo on that play.
Hatchet carries in a shot wide of the glove side. Followed up by Connor McNamara. In deep, it's Ford Hatchet. Reverse one in front. Francisi and McNamara there. Couldn't find either. Outlets for Mason Gallegos. Back for Connor McNamara to defend, and he back checks it. Brian Tacone in his own line. 2 minutes gone, 3 to go. Sudden death overtime. Brandon Ritchie joins Brian Tacone. Drops it off for him. Tacone here moves it in. Ritchie goes to the far side. The shot was tipped by Hatchet's stick. Hayward with a high-flying Francisi can't get the glove down. Francisi goes in the fray as Hatchet sends one off of Adam Peck. Halfway gone in OT. Peck on a 2-on-2 with Horowitz charging the net. Brought on by Peter Owen Hayward with Hatchet. Hayward moves in. Hatchet far side. Drop for Ford Hatchet. Hatchet waits. Shot one into the chest of Kavanaugh. And a coverage is made. Our first whistle of overtime with 2:19 left in the extra frame. Hatchet deliberating a bit too long. Couldn't find Hayward back.
Yeah, and the reason he deliberated so long was because both Adam Peck and James Long, defensemen for the Violets, were doing all that they could to clog up that passing lane. They obviously would rather have Ford Hatchet shooting from a sharp angle than a one-timer backdoor for Peter Owen Hayward.
Timeout SU, I believe. Yes. Good call by Connor Tracy. And SU will take 30 seconds to talk about it. Has either team had a clear advantage in this overtime?
Yeah, I would say that the NYU Violets actually have. They've had a couple of scoring chances that haven't really materialized for the good luck of the Orange. There was a play earlier where Brian Tacone had Frank Horowitz wide open in the slot, just couldn't thread the saucer pass through the Orange defense, but he was wide open right in the middle of the slot. Lucky break for the Orange. That nothing materialized from that. Other than that, it's been pretty back and forth.
Final 2:19 of overtime. If we're still scoreless when the buzzer sounds, we'll have 5 rounds of a shootout. Harrington to take the draw. He's joined by Connor Preston on the forward line and Stephen Brezzi, the D-man. Violets win this draw. And James Long, who's gotten plenty of ice time, the freshman from St. Louis for the Violets, speeds all the way out on the far side. Moves in 2-on-2. Long ahead of Steve. Moves right in on Kaler. Lost the handle on the stick. And Brezzi takes over for Syracuse.
Interesting that coming out of the timeout, Peter Owen Hayward wasn't on the ice for Syracuse. You think they'd want one of their most dynamic offensive players on the ice after the timeout. Maybe Connor Tracy is trying to play some matchup games with NYU and have Owen Hayward out for the final shift.
That's what I would imagine. Brought on by Harrington, dropped it off, and both Corcoran and Brezzi were at the line, and nearly too many men on SU. Officials let it go as Corcoran was close enough to the bench to negate it. Patrick Corcoran has it here. Got away from Frank Horowitz in the last 90 seconds of sudden death overtime. Glad you're with us here at Tennedy. Corcoran to the goal line. Corcoran circles back. Hayward now on the ice. He comes in front. Matt Jacobs had the overtime winner in Lynchburg. Hayward has it. Got by Cole Donovan. On back to the defenseman Corcoran. Took a shot. Was blocked by the first man, Long. Jacobs follows up. Jacobs goes outside the line and retreats all the way back to his own neutral end. 1 minute to go in OT. Swung on for Hatchet. In alone, Hatchet with a man getting back. Horowitz, he can't get it through. Deke back to his forehand. Horowitz back checked it well. And an icing is called. The best chance of the overtime from number 6 in white.
Yeah, that's the second breakaway of the game for Ford Hatchet. Obviously something you don't see that often from the 6'4" D-man. A little bit of a role reversal on that play with Peter Owen Hayward giving the great pass into the zone to Ford Hatchet. We usually see it the other way around with Hatchet giving it to Hayward on breakaways like that.
Hatchet's shot is caught by Kavanaugh. Shots are 39-29 for Syracuse. NYU has had their fair share of pressure, but the shots are coming from Syracuse, and now a timeout is called by Syracuse. So perhaps that last timeout wasn't an official timeout. And now Connor Tracy takes it.
I think it was taken by NYU. I think in the ACHA, each team gets one extra timeout if the game goes to overtime.
Well, NYU and Syracuse have both used theirs in this overtime, if that's the case. 47 seconds left in the extra period.
Yeah, these last 47 seconds coming out of this timeout, you got to imagine that both teams are putting their heavyweights out there on the ice, putting all their talent out there with these 47 seconds left just to get a goal. Yeah, and 3 forwards. We see that 3 forwards now on the ice for the Orange for this offensive zone faceoff. No defenseman on the ice. Not an often sight, or not a common sight, pardon me, on a 3-on-3 power play like this. You often see at least one defenseman on the ice.
It's Harrington, Hayward, and Matt Jacobs on the draw. Harrington won the draw to Hayward, who drops it back for Jacobs. Along the boards for Harrington. Harrington with Peter Owen Hayward taking a drop pass. Hayward, a shot was tipped off the leg of Brian Tacone, cleared but not out. Kept by Hayward, along for Jacobs dragged by one. Jacobs in alone, and he's stopped on the play by Kavanaugh. Was wide open on the outside of the slot and could not tuck it through.
Yeah, it really looked like from our angle that puck could have snuck through Patrick Kavanaugh under the glove, right over the pad. Perfectly placed shot by Matt Jacobs. Kavanaugh stayed strong, stayed in front of that puck to keep this game going on with 20 seconds in overtime.
Same 3 out for the Orange. Check that, Brezzi's actually on for Harrington. Shot by Brezzi, safe, rebound knocked down by Jacobs in front, and Kavanaugh pounces on that. Wow.
Yeah, Kavanaugh has been stout in front of the net for rebound opportunities. Another example there. Looked like Jacobs had the opportunity to bang that home if he'd stuck with it, but Kavanaugh alert, finds the puck, and gets a whistle.
Well, Kavanaugh, who stopped 42 shots in a win over Syracuse last year, his only win in his career against SU, has 38 today. Clock's not running. It's at 18 seconds. Now it is. Hayward has it here. See if that becomes controversial. Hayward drifts to the outside. Set one in front for Jacobs. Tips it on goal. And Kavanaugh covers with 10.1 on the clock. And the officials are going to get some time taken off the clock here. 7.5 is the ruling.
Yeah, wow. Peter Owen Hayward and Matt Jacobs giving the NYU Violets defenseman a geometry lesson on that shift. Incredible tic-tac-toe plays into a deflection, but not good enough to beat Patrick Kavanaugh.
5 seconds. Hayward, that comes out of the zone. 2 seconds and 1. And 65 minutes cannot find a winner. We will need a shootout to determine Syracuse and NYU. Game 1 at the Kennedy Ice Pavilion. We'll see who Connor Tracy and Chris Constantino send out. Neither team has played in a shootout so far this season. And we'll see some uncharted territory between the Orange and the Violets. Back after this on the SU Hockey Network. A wild one from the Kennedy Ice Pavilion. It is shootout time at the Kennedy Ice Pavilion for the first time this season that either the Orange or the Violets have participated in one. It's a 5-round shootout, and whoever has the most goals after 5 rounds wins. 65 minutes, Cal Stewart could not decide a winner.
No, it could not, Cory. Incredibly back and forth all game. In that overtime period, it was mostly the Syracuse Orange in the final 2 minutes, getting 6 or 7 shots in on Patrick Kavanaugh, but he was good enough and up to the challenge. Jake Kaler hasn't had that much action in the last couple of minutes here. Hopefully for the Orange that doesn't play into the shootout. Kaler obviously a very good breakaway goalie, acrobatic, flexible, all the adjectives to describe Jake Kaler, and he's well suited for a shootout opportunity like this.
And the Orange will shoot first. It's Peter Owen Haber to take the first shot for Syracuse. Had a goal today, one of 3 for the Orange in the contest. And Hayward, the assistant captain, moves in on Patrick Kavanaugh. He's stopped by Kavanaugh to the glove side, and Syracuse unsuccessful on their first chance. Frank Horowitz, who scored 2 for the Violets, will be their first shooter. The 6'2" forward from Beverly Hills, California. First game in the lineup, scored twice, got the start. Here he is to start the shootout for the Violets. He scores! Nifty move, and NYU has the opening goal of the shootout round.
Yeah, I mean, he's from Beverly Hills, and he's been at nothing but Hollywood all night. 2 goals, another goal in the shootout. He's really been the difference maker for the Violets. New addition to the team in the second semester, and the difference is palpable with him in the lineup.
Matt Jacobs, who had the assist on the Hayward goal. He's in. He's stopped. Not sure what Jacobs was trying to do. Kavanaugh saw him all the way, and the Orange are 0 for 2.
This is a huge shootout opportunity for both teams. A save from Jake Kaler here is almost essential.
Adam Peck, the Vermont native, is in. He scores! NYU has won it. The Violets take it 4-3 and win their first game over SU this season.
Wow, a pair of new additions in this semester for NYU get both goals in the shootout. A stunning loss for the Syracuse Orange in a game that was very important both in the ESCHL standings as well as the national rankings. But definitely a disappointing loss for Syracuse and a huge win for this NYU Violets team that was starved of conference wins. Coming into this one, they come up to Syracuse and make a statement here for the entire league, especially with their new additions on offense.
And those new additions helped NYU snap an 8-game conference losing streak. It's just their second conference win and their first since October 13th. They improved to 6-9 on the season after this nice win, and Syracuse down to 12-7-1, 0-1 in shootouts, and 2-2 in games involving extra time. Orange salute their fans, but they certainly cannot be happy at all about the result. And this game tomorrow will certainly be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow's game just took on a whole new level of importance for Syracuse. They have to come out strong, and I would suspect that Connor Tracy will ensure just that. But they're going to have to come out and score at will, really, tomorrow afternoon if they want to get back any of the ground that they've lost tonight in this loss.
Well, as far as the statistics are concerned, the series history between Syracuse and NYU has had 3 games go to overtime or a shootout beyond 60 minutes in the 2-year season series. NYU has won all 3 games that have gone beyond 60 minutes. They win tonight 4-3 with Cal Stewart. I'm Cory Berberian. We hope you join us again tomorrow at 2 o'clock when Syracuse and NYU meet up again. But for now, we say goodnight and thank you for watching this presentation of Syracuse hockey on the SU Hockey Network.